Whenever you need me, then I'll be as quick as possible around the mat to help everybody. So today I'm going to do the footlock, and we're going to start off with some basic drills, understanding the concept of single leg X or ashigurami, and then afterwards some entries, and then the finish, the belly down footlock, and some alternatives as well. So let me borrow my dude here, Gaurav. So he's going to be sitting down. So nice and easy. Most of you probably have done this drill before. So we're looking to have our inside position here with our shins right behind his knees, okay? Catching both legs at first. I choose one side and I'm gonna now stretch my leg out, and I'm gonna go and bring this hand over to grab the back of his knee, okay? So once I'm here, I'm gonna scoop myself in under his leg, get tight, and now I'm gonna connect my heel to his hip bone and then bring my knee on top of that as well, okay? So this connects the position. I don't want you guys to focus too much on the arm yet, but we'll get to that later, okay? But watch how I'm keeping this foot here hooked under his far thigh, and this is keeping me nice and tight into his hips, okay? So now I just want him to start moving a little bit away, just to check that we have some control with our legs, because obviously if I open up, he should be able to escape, okay? Then we go back, same thing. Now I like to choose to go to the other side so we can practice both sides, right? Here, same thing as well. I'm gonna go and grab, scoop myself in, and then connect heel to knee, and then he tries to move, and I will just follow his movements, okay? Back again, other side, inside he goes. Here. Try to refrain from only focusing on the leg, because now if he pulls, I'm not really using my legs that much as I should, okay? 1, 2, go. And once you're here, okay, I want you guys to imagine you want to lock right on top of the heel here. So, meaning I want his heel connected to my ribs, and I'm bringing my arm all the way around, okay? I'm not a big fan of this shallow grip. Reason is because, I mean, then I have to compensate with a lot of strength. Here, I can connect him more to my body, so it's my whole body working against his foot, okay? In the end, it's preference. So, once I'm here, try to always use your arms to adjust their position and slide back to his foot, okay? Because if I'm here, now I'm trying to break his shin. Obviously, that doesn't work if you're not really strong. So I need to push his leg away and adjust so I feel like I'm catching his toes inside my armpit almost, okay? He should feel like his toes are on the outside here, but at least I'm bringing his foot together like this, okay? Once you're here, I'm always connecting to my gi here. If you're not having a gi on, or let's say no gi scenario, you're gonna be grabbing your own hand and bringing it nice and tight to your chest, okay? The legs are always working, and I could also use my legs to regulate the distance if I'm too far up on his legs. So I could use my legs here to push myself back as well, okay? Now, when I'm making a grip on the gi, if you're using the gi, make sure that you're bringing yourself close so you get a really nice and tight grip far up on the collar, and then I'm gonna start opening my chest up, okay? This elbow is gonna go underneath my body, okay? Very common is that we let it fall in front of our body, then it's not gonna be as tight, so I need to bring it underneath my body here, okay? I can still be on my elbow, but just make sure it's the outside that's going towards the floor here, okay? Now I'm gonna use that free hand here because I have the gi, okay, to stretch myself far further back, okay? If you wanna take it easy, go one step, and create this angle. Imagine his knee is now straight, right? And I wanna bend his knee, okay? When I'm bending his knee, I get this angle where I'm looking away from him. I can open my chest, and it should be pretty tight. And it should be almost effortless where you're not using too much strength, okay? So let's just do it from here, or he can stand up all the way. Wow. So we got into the position, we swept the guy. First and foremost, make sure we're sliding all the way back to the foot, okay? If I'm all the way up here, it's not gonna be good. So if you need, grab the pants. You can also do like a shotgun grip and push so that you can slide all the way back to his foot. So you're gonna go here, and now we're in position, okay? Once I grab my gi, make sure we're bringing our chest close. I can bring my chest, open it, pull my elbow underneath, and we have good pressure, okay? Loosen it up a little bit so I can show more. Now, creating the angle, and then we can add the pressure afterwards. 1, 2. Just start here, shin to shin, meaning my left leg goes into his right leg. Throwing my arm around his leg here, and very important detail, watch how my elbow and my knees are connected together here, okay? If I'm very loose and open here, he'll be able to go for an underhook, and this will be a really bad position for me to be in. So I'm gonna keep this nice and tight so that I can't bring his arm in under here, okay? Another thing I want to keep in mind is headlocks. So if I'm looking down, I'm very susceptible for headlocks. So I'm always kind of looking up towards his belt or his chest. So if he really wants to grab my head, he needs to commit over my head. And this will actually help me out when I'm going underneath him, right? Other hand here is going to be blocking his far knee. The reason I do this is because there's a couple of counters he can do when I'm going in for the single leg X here, okay? This leg slightly bent. I'm going to use it on the floor here. And so it's going to look like this, just to show you guys quick. And we get into the position, okay? And if you guys want to go all the way, you sweep. And you look for the foot straight away, okay? Back up, shin to shin, right? If you wake up, you're in here in this position already. Or you could start from De La Riva, push it, and then come up into this position, okay? Watch how I'm falling in toward the middle here between his legs, okay? Keeping this elbow nice and tight to my chest. But as I'm going under him, I'm gonna stretch out my left leg and slide this arm down towards his leg as I'm going into the single leg X, okay? One more. So, shin to shin, nice and tight with my arm, looking slightly up, blocking his far leg, and watch now. Bring myself in towards the middle, stretching my leg out, and then connecting my heel and my knee together, just like we practiced earlier, okay? 1, 2. From all the way from shin to shin, here, get in, and then sweep, okay? Now we're gonna go for the belly down footlock, just so we can get that first out of the way, and then we can add some other stuff if we have the time as well. So, same thing as before, we're gonna look for the footlock, and then Gaurav here is gonna defend the footlock like we would normally do, okay? So, I'm gonna be going all the way back to his foot, just that I've done that work before. He's gonna hop my heel, so, for those of you who don't know this, so he's gonna push my heel to the floor, move himself over my leg, and now, if worst case scenario, if he can get this leg on the inside and push my belly, now it's going to be hard for me to recover into a good position with a footlock at least. And sometimes he'll even come to the top. So, as soon as I see him pushing my heel to the floor here, I'm going to go from the outside to the inside, okay? So I'm getting this inside hook. You guys were, if you were here with Rose today, it's the same hook that you guys were working there, okay? Just in a little bit different scenario, right? And my foot that's now under his opposite thigh here is just gonna go up and step on top of his hip. So I'm connecting my feet quite close together. This way I really can push away. And I like to call this the knee sandwich here. So knee, knee, and knee. And I wanna keep this nice and tight, okay? So the difference here, just so you guys know, if your knees are sticking out like this, it's gonna be very hard for me to go belly down, okay? So I need to, or let's say in a scenario where this happens, I need to scoop my hips back, and this will allow me to go belly down, okay? If it makes sense, my knees are here, very hard. Knees are here, simple, okay? So just make sure your knees are not too far or too deep through, okay? Obviously, if you're a longer person with a shorter guy, this will happen a lot more often, okay? And if you're a shorter person with a longer person on the other side, this will happen more often, okay? Now, once I'm here, it's the same thing as before. I want to make sure I'm all the way back, his heel is on my rib, and we're in this position here, okay? Important part is I need my elbow here to be glued to my ribs as I'm rolling, okay? So the first step is going to be bringing this elbow down to the floor, okay? And I use this momentum to go belly down, okay? Now, once I'm here, the common issue is that we leave our elbow on the floor here. Now there's a lot of space for his foot to move around, and there's likely no pressure, okay? So I need to keep this elbow up close to my ribs. Now I'm in a good position here, okay? For no-gi people, you will be holding your hand, and you will be sliding forward with your head, okay? For gi people, and you want to keep your face pretty and nice. So you're gonna use this hand on the floor, and then you're gonna stretch forward here, okay? So let's start from the beginning. Here, okay? He hops all over my heel, and then I hook on the inside here, okay? Making sure I'm still in a good position here. Now I'm gonna step with the other leg on top, so my feet are connected. I'm creating this knee sandwich, okay? Making sure my knees are not too far forward, because now it's gonna be hard for me to go belly down. So I push my hips a little bit back, just like a hip escape. And then everything's good. Bringing my chest low, connecting my hand to the gi, if I have the gi on, obviously. And then as I'm putting my elbow underneath my ribs, I'm rolling over and coming up on my forehead or my hand, okay? So imagine, I don't want his hips to come off the floor, okay? If his hips come up, now he's relieving pressure, okay? So I need to keep my feet on his hip to keep him down on the floor here, okay? At the same time, I don't want my knees to stick out, because now he can come closer to my hips, okay? So I want to keep him at distance by pushing him away, okay? And the easiest way to do that is to keep my knees like shoulder width. So now if he tries to come closer, I push him away, okay? Use this hand if you need to open up a little bit, but don't go all the way up here, because now I'm giving him the opportunity to connect to my hips again, okay? So I'm keeping myself far from him and then putting the pressure. Again, very important, keeping this elbow here tight to my ribs, okay? If this opens up, then likely we lose the position, because it's gonna be hard to pull this back in afterwards, okay? So we're here, he jumps over and finishes, okay? 1, 2.